let's dive in. Today we're heading to India, specifically the Sri Pavala Vannar temple in Kanchipuram.
Oh, excellent choice.
From what I've been reading, this isn't just your average temple. It's like a fusion of mythology, art, and history, all in one place.
You're absolutely spot on. The Sri Pavalavana temple, it's the 54th out of the 108 Divya Desams. Hugely important in Vaishnava tradition, and conveniently located right by the Kanchipuram railway station.
Okay, 108 Divya Desams, we could do a whole other deep dive just on that, but let's stick with this one for now. What really caught my eye was the story of sage Brigu and how it's woven into the very fabric of this temple, and even Vishnu's form there.
Ah, yes. The tale of Brigu and the Trimurti, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, it's a classic, and it really explains why this temple is so unique. So picture this. Brigu, he's on a mission to figure out who among the Trimurti possesses the highest sattvic quality.
Sattva quality.
Basically a measure of purity, inner goodness, that kind of thing.
Got it. So Brigu sets off to find the most sattvic god. What happens next?
Well, first he goes to Brahma and then Shiva. Let's just say, things don't go so well.
Really? What went down?
Brahma pretty much ignores him, and Shiva, well, he shows some disrespect. Not exactly the peaceful divine encounters Brigu was hoping for, so he ends up cursing both of them.
Whoa, hold on. Curses. Things just got real. So after those dramatic encounters, where does Brigu go next?
He heads to Vaikuntham, the abode of Vishnu, and he finds Vishnu in a state of deep repose, resting on Adisha, the five-headed serpent. Now here comes the kicker, literally.
He doesn't.
Oh, he does. Brigu, still fuming from his previous encounters, walks right up to Vishnu and kicks him in the chest.
What? You've got to be kidding me.
Nope. But here's the thing. Vishnu, he wakes up calmly, looks at Brigu and asks, "Did you hurt your foot?"
No way. That's incredible.
Yeah.
He doesn't get angry, doesn't retaliate. He's just worried about Brigu.
Exactly. And that's precisely what throws Brigu off guard. In that moment, Brigu realizes Vishnu, with his composure and compassion, embodies that very sattvic quality he's been searching for. He immediately declares Vishnu the most sattvic of the Trimurti. Talk about a plot twist.
Wow, so the test backfires, but in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Brigu gets his answer, and we get an epic story.
Right, but the story doesn't end there. Brigu, overwhelmed with remorse, travels to Kanchipuram to perform penance for his actions. And guess who appears before him there?
Let me guess. Vishnu.
You got it. But not just any Vishnu. Vishnu appears in the exact same relaxed posture Brigu saw him in Vaikuntham, sitting on Adisesha.
No way. So that's how he's depicted in the Sri Pavalavana temple.
Precisely. This unique posture, with one leg casually bent almost to his waist, it's a direct visual link to that story. You won't find it anywhere else.
Wow, that's incredible. It's like we're not just looking at a statue, we're looking at a frozen moment in this cosmic drama. And this is where we get the name Pavalavana, right?
Exactly. Remember how Brigu was testing for sattvic quality? Well, sattva is all about purity and light. And light, well, that brings us to color.
Hold on. Are we about to mix color theory with ancient Hindu mythology?
You bet. In Hindu cosmology, Vishnu takes on different colors in different yugas, vast periods of time that govern the cycles of creation and destruction.
Fascinating. So what color is our Pavalavana rocking?
Well, in the Krita Yuga, the first yuga, a golden age of sorts, Vishnu was known as Pavalavana because of his coral-like red complexion.
Wait, so the Sri Pavalavana temple is basically a snapshot of Vishnu in a specific cosmic era. That's incredible attention to detail. It makes you wonder what his other colors and forms were like in the other yugas.
Precisely. Each color has its own meaning and symbolism. But maybe that's a deep dive for another time.
Agreed. Adding Vishnu's color palette to our list. But for now, let's get back to Pavalavana. We've got the story, we've got the color, but what of the temple itself? What's it like?
The temple's a treasure trove. Just like the story sets the stage for understanding Vishnu's posture, it also unlocks the deeper meaning behind his iconography in this temple.
So we're not talking random decorations here.
Not at all. You've got the conch, the wheel, the Apaya Hasta Mudra, the gesture of fearlessness. All these elements point to Vishnu's power and grace, specifically as Pavalavana.
Okay, I'm starting to see how each detail adds another layer of meaning. And what about the idol of Brigu? You mentioned it earlier.
Right. It's not just there for decoration. It's a constant reminder of the whole story, the encounter that shaped the very essence of the temple.
It's like a physical embodiment of the whole story.
You got it. And it underscores the importance of grace and forgiveness, the transformative power of Vishnu's compassion.
Wow, that's a powerful message embedded right in the heart of the temple. But we've only just scratched the surface, haven't we? We haven't even touched upon Pavalavali Thayar, Vishnu's consort in this temple, or those amazing hymns dedicated to Pavala Vannar.
You're right, there's so much more to uncover.
Well, I got to save some for the next parts of our deep dive. But before we move on, what's one key thing you want our listeners to remember about Sri Pavala Vannar Temple from what we've discussed so far?
I'd say remember this. The Sri Pavala Vannar Temple isn't just a building. It's a living, breathing embodiment of a profound mythological encounter. It's a snapshot of a specific cosmic era, and it's a testament to the enduring power of grace.
Beautifully put. And that's a wrap for part one of our deep dive into the Sri Pavala Vannar Temple.
All right, welcome back to our exploration of the Sri Pavala Vannar Temple. We left off with a cliffhanger. You mentioned hymns dedicated to Pavala Vannar.
Oh, yes, the hymns. They add such a rich layer to the whole experience of this temple. It's not just about the visuals. It's about the sounds, the poetry, the devotion expressed through these incredible compositions.
Okay, so paint me a picture. I'm standing in the Sri Pavala Vannar Temple. What am I hearing? Imagine this. You walk in, the air is thick with incense. You see the soft glow of oil lamps, priests are chanting. And then you hear it, this beautiful voice rising above it all, singing in Tamil. These are the hymns of the Alvars.
The Alvars.
Poet saints. They wandered South India centuries ago, expressing their love for Vishnu through poetry and song. Imagine, like, traveling bards, but for devotion.
Wow, that's amazing. And their hymns, they're specifically about Pavala Vannar.
Oh, absolutely. Thiru Alvar, one of the most famous Alvars, dedicated 10 verses to Pavala Vannar in this temple. He talks about the deity's coral red color, comparing it to a radiant ruby. He even mentions the story of Brigu.
So it's like the hymns and the mythology are all interwoven.
Precisely. It creates this incredibly immersive experience. And it's not just about the physical appearance. The hymns go deeper, expressing this intense longing to connect with the divine. Thiru Alvar sings about seeking refuge at Pavala Vannar's feet, wanting nothing more than to be in his presence. You know, that feeling of complete surrender to something greater than yourself.
I can only imagine how powerful it must be to actually hear those hymns sung in the temple itself.
No, it's truly moving. And it's not just Thiru Alvar. Many other poets and composers have contributed to this tradition. There's Divya Pillai Perumal Iyengar, who talks about wanting to see, hear, touch, speak nothing but Pavala Vannar. It's that all-encompassing devotion.
It's like the whole temple is infused with this energy of devotion built up over centuries. But, I'm curious, what's it actually like to visit the Sri Pavala Vannar temple today? I mean, for someone who's never been there, what would that experience be like?
Well, imagine this. You get off the train in Kanchipuram, a city known for its temples. You walk through these vibrant streets, and then you reach the Sri Pavala Vannar temple.
Is there a certain time of year that's best to visit? Any particular festival?
It's a vibrant place all year round, but the Brahmotsavam is something special.
Brahmotsavam.
It's a 10-day festival in the Tamil month of Panguni, which falls around March-April. Processions, music, rituals, the whole shebang.
So I should mark my calendar for Brahmotsavam if I want to go all out. But what about a regular day? What can I expect?
Well, even on a normal day, the temple's full of life. You'll hear the chanting, the bells. As you enter, you see the Gopuram, the massive gateway tower, covered in intricate carvings.
It's like stepping into another world. And the architecture.
Classic South Indian style. You'll find mandapams, these pillared halls used for gatherings or performances. Everywhere you look, there are sculptures, carvings, scenes from the Ramayana and Mahabharata, images of deities. It's like an entire epic carved in stone.
Incredible. So much to take in. And then finally you reach the inner sanctum, the heart of the temple. What's it like to stand before Pavala Vannar?
That's where it all comes together. The sanctum, it's a place of quiet reverence, people offering prayers. You smell the sandalwood, the camphor, and then you see him, Pavala Vannar, in that unique posture, that red hue. It's like a direct connection to everything we've been talking about, the mythology, the hymns, the colors, everything.
It must be an incredibly moving experience, especially after exploring all these layers of meaning.
It really is. It's a moment of deep connection.
This has been an amazing journey so far. From a simple story to the heart of a temple.
And we're not quite done yet. There are a few things we still need to clear up. A couple of misconceptions about the Sri Pavala Vannar temple and its place in Kanchipuram.
All right, we're back for the final part of our Sri Pavala Vannar temple deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground, from mythology and symbolism to hymns and even a virtual visit. But before we wrap up, you mentioned some misconceptions about the temple.
Oh, right. One thing that trips people up is the whole Pavala Vannar versus Vannar thing.
Yeah, those names do sound pretty similar.
They both are in Kanchipuram, and both are Vishnu temples. So, understandable confusion. But the main difference is Sri Pavalavan, the one we've been talking about, is a Divya Desam.
Ah, right. One of those 108 super important Vishnu temples.
Exactly. Pachivanar, while significant, isn't a Divya Desam. It's mentioned in the Puranas, but it doesn't have that same designation.
Okay, so different levels of importance within Vaishnava tradition.
You could say that. And Sri Pavalavar, it has that unique connection to the Brigu story. The sitting posture, the red color, all tied to that specific mythology. You won't find that in Pachivanar.
It's like each Divya Desam is its own unique expression of Vishnu.
Exactly. Each one has its own story, its own symbolism. And Sri Pavalavanar, well, it's just one piece of the puzzle that is Kanchipuram.
Right, Kanchipuram, the city of 1,000 temples. So it's not just about visiting this one temple, it's about experiencing it as part of a larger sacred landscape.
Absolutely. You could go from Sri Pavalavanar to Kamaksi Amman Temple, dedicated to Parvati, then to Kailasanathar Temple with those incredible Pallava carvings. It's a feast for the senses and the soul.
Wow, I'm getting serious travel envy right now.
It's a truly special place. It's not just about the individual temples, it's the whole atmosphere, the rituals, the daily rhythms of life intertwined with these sacred spaces.
It's like the whole city is vibrating with this spiritual energy.
You got it. And you know what's great about these deep dives is that we can start with one specific thing, like the Sri Pavalavanar temple, and end up with a whole new world to explore.
It's like opening a door to a whole new universe. So what's the key takeaway you'd like our listeners to remember as they embark on their own explorations?
I'd say approach everything with an open mind and heart. Whether it's a temple, a story, a hymn, each one is an invitation to connect with something larger than ourselves. So keep exploring, keep learning, and see where the journey takes you.
Beautifully said. And on that note, we wrap up our deep dive into the Sri Pavalavanar Temple. We hope you enjoyed the journey.
Until next time, happy exploring.
And may your journeys be filled with wonder and discovery.